that recess appointments are on the table. That's a key demand from President-elect Donald Trump. Will you move forward with that?
Well, what we're going to do is make sure that we are processing his nominees in a way that gets them into those positions so they can implement his agenda. How that happens remains to be seen.
New Senate Majority Leader John Thune, incoming next year, today seemed fairly open to Trump's idea of bypassing Senate approval of his cabinet picks by using recess appointments. Is that how this is going to go down? Joining me now is Adam Jentleson, former chief of staff to Senators John Fetterman and Harry Reid. Adam, help me understand what's happening here. John Thune sounds like he's cool with recess appointments, which seems to be the only way you'd get Matt Gaetz confirmed as the attorney general. Do you think that's what's going to happen here?
That's right. He did sound cool with it in theory, but that quote was before Matt Gaetz was announced as the nominee for Attorney General, and I think John Thune might have thought twice about that openness to recess appointments after that announcement. I do think the only way Matt Gaetz will become Attorney General is by a recess appointment. I don't think he can get the votes to be confirmed through regular order. So, what Trump did was raise the stakes of that idea of recess appointments. Senate Republicans now know what the stakes are here, that if they give him that power, what they are doing, in effect, is to give him the power to appoint people like Matt Gaetz.
Well, they're giving away their role as advise and consent, right? I mean, I'm with Ezra Klein on this. He says demanding Senate Republicans back Gaetz as AG and Hegseth as defense secretary is the 2024 version of forcing Sean Spicer to say it was the largest inauguration crowd ever. These aren't just appointments, they're loyalty tests. The absurdity is the point. That seems right to me, that this is about loyalty. Yeah,
that's right. I mean,
yeah.
Absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, it is about loyalty. This is about forcing his followers to defend the indefensible, and we'll see what they do. But, from an institutional perspective, confirming nominees is something that only the Senate does. The House has no role in that process. It is part of the Senate's special responsibility. If the Senate Republicans decide to just cede that responsibility entirely by giving Trump the power to do recess appointments, and he's made clear, recess appointments are something that in the past were used for special circumstances where a post really needed to be filled under, an emergency or something like that. No president has ever used the recess appointments power to just fill his cabinet. And that is what Trump has made clear he's going to do. And that is a complete bypass of the Senate's advise and consent responsibility. So if Senate Republicans give him that appointment, they're not just letting him fill one post here and there in an emergency situation. They are saying, we cede our power. We cede our constitutional responsibility of advising consent to you, Donald Trump, our leader. So that's a big test for them, and certainly a big test for the brand new Senate Majority Leader, John Thune.
Do you read anything into the fact that the Senate Republicans elected John Thune over Trump's pick, Rick Scott, who is undoubtedly more MAGA, though let's not suggest that John Thune is somehow a centrist? I mean, but do you think that that bodes anything good for the institution?
John Thune is an interesting character in Senate history because he won his seat in 2004 by knocking off this reigning Democratic leader Tom Daschle in what at the time was seen as sort of a major victory for this new confrontational style of politics. That was 20 years ago. That style of politics has obviously gotten much more confrontational since then. He's not necessarily some institutionalist, but he is more of an institutionalist than Rick Scott. I think Senate Majority Leader Rick Scott would have rolled over immediately to give Trump any power he wants. Thune, in theory, is supposed to be the leader who is more protective of Senate Republicans' prerogatives as independent representatives, as senators entrusted with the advise and consent responsibility. So this is a test for him. If he just rolls over for Trump, then they might as well have elected Rick Scott.
It is a test for them and a test for our democracy, right? Adam Jentleson, thank you for joining me tonight, my friend. Great to have your perspective on this one.